Hello, all you animal-loving humans. How are you today? What I'd like to talk about is memorializing your pet. The day has actually passed. Earlier this week was World Pet Memorial Day. But anytime you're thinking of your pet, you're memorializing him, you're sending good love and thoughts and wishes, and it doesn't have to just be one certain day of the year. But what I want to do is I want to do a little twist on it. And when I talk about memorializing your pet, I want you to do it while your pet is still here. Of course, we're going to do it once they cross that rainbow bridge and are no longer by our side, but forever in our hearts. But there are so many things we can do right now, right here in the moment, to memorialize our pet that will allow us to create more memories together, and that will then give us those precious, precious memories when our furry best pal is no longer by our side. Many of you know that it wasn't too long ago that I lived in Tinseltown, and I have since taken the trek to greener pastures and am loving it here. But one of the things we used to do, and it was often for a birthday or like a first year gotcha day after we adopted a pet, was we made stepping stones with paw prints. And just like the hand and footprints that you would find in front of Grauman's Chinese Theater, gosh, I think it's actually changed its name again now even, but that the forecourt of the theater on Hollywood Boulevard where the celebrities come and put their handprints and footprints and shoe prints and sometimes ring prints and gosh, only knows what other kind of prints in there. And it's also where all of the stars in the Walk of Fame is lined up. Well, I did something like that back at our previous house with all of our dogs. Like I said, very often it was on like the first birthday or the first anniversary we had of them sharing our lives together. It wasn't, at the end of the life type thing. And we would literally get one of the little kits. Of course, you can build a frame, pour some cement, and put the paw prints in. I would write their name and the date. Sometimes I would put an old ID tag or make a new one that just had their name and that said something like, "We love Duchess the Sheltie," or "Mr. Rico the Black Lab rocks," or wherever it was. Sometimes I'd find other little trinkets to dress it up. But what I'm glad we didn't do was actually cement them in place at our previous house. We actually just had them in gravel. So we were able to bring them, cross country with us to our new home. And they haven't exactly found their spot yet. We're still trying to find the right location. But it's just a wonderful memory, and it isn't like a death thing. I'm careful how we're going to be laying them out, because sometimes when you put them all in a row, people think it's a doggy cemetery, and it's not. But it's just a wonderful time. We took pictures. Like I said, it was usually on a birthday, so we had birthday cake, and we had other fun activities. And it was a great way of forever memorializing my pets for having them leave their mark, because God knows dogs love to leave their marks places. And it's, it was a fun time. So when I think of them, I'm not sad. Hi, Barbara. Glad to have you here. Kisses. But there are so many other things you can do to memorialize your pet while they're still with you. And that's really what I'm talking about today. I really want this to be upbeat and not thinking about our pets are no longer here and saying our goodbyes. I'm thinking about, things we do all the time. I have this great pin on me today. I don't know if you guys can see it. But this is my first Akita sushi, and I wear it very often. I also have one of Sunny. I have a great necklace that was hand painted that has both bonsai and haiku on it. It's just so wonderful, keeping them by my heart. And I wore these items while the pets were still with me, and now I continue to wear them afterwards. So, do a lot of things together. Be in the moment and capture those moments. Actually create photo shoots like, we did here with my great friend Timothy Fielding of Sushi and me together, because it's a fun memory. I remember his cat Pip was in there, and I think actually boxed Sushi's nose. And here we are worried about this, big Akita eating the cat. And of course, it's the cat that gets up on her hind legs and boxes the dog's nose. So too funny. But, really cherish those moments. Be in the moment like our pets are with us. Go on those special hikes. Just take a picture once in a while of them sniffing or doing their doggy things, of the kitty laying in the windowsill really sunning herself, of her playing with her feather toy or, pouncing around with the ping pong ball or whatever it is. One of the things I really like to do, especially now that I'm getting older and tireder, is to just sit and either, if it's the daytime, gaze up at the stars. Oh no, I got that backwards. If it's the daytime, gaze up at the clouds. If it's nighttime, gaze up at the stars. But, find a cloud formation or a special star and sit, with haiku by my side, so that if I ever, in the future see that star or see a cloud formation that looks like that, I'm going to remember the time he and I were sitting there together and I was stroking his soft fur and looking adoringly in his big brown eyes and just having a great time. So my important point today about memorializing pets isn't the sadness, the saying our goodbyes, doing some kind of ceremony. All of those things have a purpose, and I'm not dissing those in any way. But I want you to also think of memorializing your pets while they're still here, so that it's great memories that just carry with you beyond their lifetimes, but that are going to last your lifetime. Just don't miss celebrations. Speaking of which, granted, it's a sort of made-up day, but this Sunday, my youngest son will turn 13 years old, and that's like a biggie for us because for decades, our thing has been to adopt senior dogs. And at one point in time, we had lost a couple of seniors in really rather rapid succession. It's just how it happened. So the Akita rescue I was volunteering at said, you need to foster this puppy. They found it wandering this desert at 4 weeks old. It got thrown into the Lancaster shelter, and the Akita rescue got it out quickly. But, didn't want it just in a shelter situation when it was like, barely 6 weeks old. It shouldn't have even been away from his mom yet. That's the story of haiku. Yes, I agreed to foster. Yes, I was trying to keep a hard, stoic face and a hard, stoic heart. But I think I knew from the beginning I was going to be a foster failure on this one. And haiku was there to stay. And he's turning 13 on Sunday. And I actually have his little happy birthday cake here. I don't want him to see it, but happy 13th birthday haiku. So he will be biting into that soon on Sunday. Some of you may have seen my posts earlier in the week that I'm just so lucky in this new home we live in that the previous owner had planted all these blueberry bushes. I've been picking blueberries every morning. I mean, bowls full. We've had an amazing crop. So I actually made him banana blueberry cookies the other day. So I think he's having a good time, and we plan, even though his daddy may be working that day, we're going to take a time out and make sure we have plenty of family time and really get to celebrate his 13th birthday, because all of us only get one 13th birthday. And again, that's what I'm talking about. But on the heels of that, I would just like to put one other thing out there about senior dogs. Also on Haiku's birthday, June 17th, is the beginning of the Aging Dog Summit. And it's a way for you to sit and listen in the luxury of your home, information from 15 different pet experts about ways you can really enhance your older dog's life, things you can do, watch out for, provide, enrichments, food, care. There's just a plethora of information, and I'm actually going to speak too. I had a little tidbit that I recorded before. So everybody that speaks is only going to be available for 24 hours. So my segment actually pretty much kicks off the Aging Dog Summit. It will start airing at 1 p.m. on Sunday, June 17th. So when I go back and edit this post today, I'll add in the link so you guys know where you can go and tune in. And then also, throughout the week, catch the other 14 experts, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of information you're going to want to garner from it to really make sure that you can make every memory count as you're memorializing, as you're being in the now, and really just enjoying your pets. So I will put that link up there. But until next week, I will be back, of course, but do something over this weekend that is really a precious memory you can make with all the animals in your life that you'll never forget. And, very often, sometimes we just want to capture it up here, but sometimes, gosh, me in particular now, as I'm getting older, I like to capture it in a picture, so I'll have something to look at afterwards. But the only thing, if this is the old woman talking here about cell phones and pictures. Don't miss those precious moments because you're trying too hard to, click away and do the selfies or take the photos. Get that photo op, but then be in the moment like your dog or cat is with you and just enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. I'm just looking here quickly at some of the notes. Barbara said she knew all about me getting Haiku and that he was absolutely a keeper. You bet he was. And you know what? Since it's June and we're talking about Haiku's birthday, let me throw out bow wow wonderful wishes to Cindy Wood, his obedience trainer, who shares his birthday, and to my sister Barbara, who will be a week later. So happy birthday to all of you, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. If you joined us late, please go back and listen, because I hope there'll be something of importance that you can garner about memorializing your pet while your pet is still here with you on this plane, looking at you adoringly and being in the now and the know with you. Happy Thursday and have a great weekend. Awesome possum wishes to all, and a special belly rubs to my birthday boy. Bye-bye.